My name is Marco Santini. I'm the founder and chief optimist at Inclusion Table Tennis, which you'll see behind me here. Inclusion is a hybrid of table tennis and squash. I created it as this multi-dimensional creative sport to be a little bit more intense than table tennis, but with that I've also found that children, novices, care patients really enjoy it as a sport where it's more so bumpers, so it keeps the ball on the table longer, it prolongs rallies, and it really gets people to build their confidence as they're learning to play a sport where shots that are going out of bounds stay in bounds, shots that hit the net stay on the table, and it's been an incredible journey so far. When I was a child, I wanted to be a few different things. My father is an architect and we lived in this cool modern house, and I always was very inspired by what was around me, from really cool paintings to sculptures to the way that colors work together. And I always wanted to be an artist. I thought I wanted to play sports for a while, and it kind of all blossomed together in my parents' basement when I was just playing around with a friend and trying to get to 100 rallies, and ended up hitting the ball all over the place, off the ceiling, off the floor, off the walls. And my father came down, it was his house, he was the architect, he wasn't happy with us hitting the ball all over the place, even though the ball's not going to do any damage, but it kind of gave me this impetus to set up these side walls on the table where I put 4 chairs around the table, took these plywood boards and put them around, and I invited all my friends over. I thought it was cool, and they really loved it, but they couldn't see what was happening. So that was the first aha moment to make it out of plexiglass, so that people could be enjoying it when they're playing it, but also when they're watching it. So it's kind of multi-sensational experience. But then also, the second invention that I had around it, or second innovation rather, was the 6-inch radius curvature of the table to meet the height of the net. The original design had a 90-degree angle that would basically go where balls would just go there to die, and I really didn't like that idea of the sport. I wanted it to be continual play, increasing engagement. So ramping it at a 6-inch radius was by far the most difficult challenge I faced, because bending plexiglass is not very easy. You have to go through a whole thermoforming practice to get the 6-inch radius curve to be perfect. But it's been by far the most rewarding part of at least the product development side of it. Table tennis is a very traditional, conservative sport. It's been around for a while, and not much innovation has been done to really change it. And so when I came along, it was met with a lot of criticism, because it was looked at as almost this innovation that was taking it away from its original purpose. And I didn't want to by any means replace table tennis. I was looking to enhance it in some ways, but also just do something completely different. It's the same table, same paddle, same balls, same skills, but taking those and elevating them all a little bit. And when I hear someone or see someone really act against it, or they have a lot of strong, angry feelings about it, it means that I'm really cutting to the core of what they believe in. And it actually inspires me, because they care so much about table tennis if they feel that this is in some ways taking away from it. And I look at that as a positive and saying there's something that they care about so much that my innovation is bringing out in them. And I take that emotion and I look at it in a positive way, and I try to champion my product behind it. The biggest piece of advice I have is to research to make sure that your product is not already done. The other main piece of advice that I tell young entrepreneurs is to make a minimally viable product, which is the cheapest, easiest way to test your product to see if it works. When I was building my invention, it could have cost a lot of money to make a beautiful plexiglass version. I started out with simple wood. I started out with simple chairs to test the concept. I had my friends over, they loved it. It kind of got my idea spinning in terms of what I could do next, and the more and more it was validated, the more and more I thought it was reasonable to invest my own money to put in and make the idea kind of continue to evolve. It's really important to bring on a great team. I'm lucky to have some really great part-time consultants who's helped me out, from visual graphic design to industrial design to manufacturing to interns who've been really great for marketing and social media. You want to be in a creative environment that inspires you, but also have people who believe in your vision. And it's really important to assess that before you bring on team members, I'd say. I haven't brought in any investors, and I've really tried to spend very carefully in terms of how I've managed my finances, from website to marketing to product design. I say you really got to be careful with how you're investing your own money, and doing the research will help you figure out what is affordable, what is worth it. You want to make sure you're getting a return on all that investment. But then again, another crazy thing I say to young entrepreneurs is that sometimes you just got to do things that may not make you money right away. It's like taking a chance on this conference and paying my way here. I mean, they were fortunate enough to buy the 2 panels, but there's sometimes you just have to do things that don't make sense as an entrepreneur, to test the waters, to check that creativity, to meet some fascinating people to potentially partner with. And so a lot of times, business school and successful entrepreneurs will tell you got to follow the book. You need to go, only finances, only things that will make you sell your product. But it's also about giving back to the community. It's also about finding great people, learning from others, and just taking a chance on some great opportunities.